Hello and welcome. This is Rasheem of the Counter Narrative. This is episode 13, and we will be discussing natural hair. I have three fantastic guests joining me tonight. I have Angela Hardy of Simple Wellness Day Spa, as well as Jennifer Taylor and Danny Redwine. Each one of them will be joining, telling about their personal experiences, insights, and information on their natural hair journey, their process, and kind of just what's that been like for them. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Finally got it connected.
Yeah.
So as the others come in, please do introduce yourself. And the way I like to have people introduce themselves is I like them to answer three questions. What is your name, your relationship, or interest in the topic, and tell us something that you're passionate about.
Great. You want me to start now?
Go for it.
Okay. A little bit of a echo, but I'm Jennifer Hutchinson Taylor. So I am a certified clinical master herbalist and a physiologist. And so my connection with natural hair goes pretty deep and long because that's basically where I started my practice into the whole natural and holistic lifestyle that I live now. And so it's exciting to get on here, and I appreciate this opportunity. And it's exciting to talk about this because I haven't talked about it in a long time. And basically my start to changing my entire life was I started with getting natural hair. And I don't know if you want me to tell my story now or wait, but
I would like to hear a little bit more just to add context.
Yeah. So basically in 2008 or so, when I started with natural hair, and I did this whole transition period for 10 months. And so I can talk about that, what I did, later on in the show. But basically I transitioned for 10 months out of the relaxer. And then in 2009, I did my big chop. And then from 2009 until now, I had 2 sets of locks, and I've rocked so many different afros. And then I had locks in the top, and then I had my hair shaved in the back. And it was just all, I just tried so many different things, and it was a fun experience. And, but that also helped me. So when I was going through that transition time, I was doing things more naturally. And so it really helped me figure out that I loved herbs, and I loved using natural remedies to do stuff. So I made my own skincare and hair care products, and I use a lot of herbs in those. That helped me to transition and become an herbalist. And now I, am all in it. So I'm a clinical herbalist now, and so I take clients and I talk to women, especially about going natural and being natural holistically from top to bottom. So.
No,
that's kind of a nutshell.
Talk a little bit more about the relationship between herbs and natural hair. Because you talked about being a clinical herbalist. Is that what it's? So you talked to us a little bit about being a clinical herbalist, and that like getting to that path somewhere in some ways through your hair. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, because. And I can talk about some of the herbs that I use like early on to help my hair, to strengthen my hair, to make it grow better and all of that, because it does. There are herbs out there that can do that and to help you to get to that point. And if you look at some products that claim that they're natural, a lot of times they have a lot of herbs in them, like aloe vera. They may have sage, rosemary, calendula, a lot of things like that you might see, and they give that product they give it nutrients, so it's helpful for your hair. And so getting away from using a lot of toxins, and especially the relaxer, is amazing. But what do you do, and that's the norm that people have been grown up with and all of that. So the majority of people have anyway. So for me, going to the herbs and going back to the earth and going back to my roots was really important for me, for one. And I decided to do that and learn more about herbs in a way that I could use them holistically and use them, for internal use, for medicinal use, but also for my hair and skin. And it really helped my hair and skin because I dealt with eczema. I dealt with dry skin, which is, the I guess the precursor to eczema a lot of times anyway, even though eczema comes from usually an imbalance in the digestive system. But anyway, so those are things that I dealt with, and I was able to heal and use herbs naturally and diet as well to help to grow my hair and be happy with it.
Right.
So
no, that is an interesting I mean, that's an interesting journey and that's an interesting experience to get there. And a lot of times when we have the conversation, we use words like go natural, right? And when we're talking about natural hair, anytime I hear natural hair, I always assume they're talking about Black people hair.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of white women, I don't know if they use terms like natural hair. So I'm assuming in terms of like going natural, you weren't always natural. So tell me about the process between, okay, I have processed hair and now I'm going to go natural.
Well, I have to think back, so for me, I wanted to go natural because I saw how beautiful it was. And whenever my hair would go, I would go for a relaxer maybe every, I don't even remember. Gosh, it seems so long ago. It seems like I just like blocked out that time in my life when I had a relaxer. But, I wouldn't go that often. So I would let my hair grow out so I would have some new growth. And I liked that new growth. It felt good. It felt like my hair was thicker and more lively or whatever. And so I just kind of liked that so much, and something was pulling me to that. It was something within me that I was just, and that's one thing that I can tell for myself looking back now. And this is, like I said, exciting experience to look back now because I haven't done it in a long time to kind of recap what I've gone through with my hair and, all that. So thinking back, it's like something was pulling me to that natural lifestyle, something. I don't even know what it was. It was within me, I assume, because I'm from small town, South Carolina. And, we did things very country and, connecting with the earth was very big, even though you didn't really talk about that. But being outside, being with your, shoes off and being just one with nature, like that was how I grew up. And I kind of got away from that. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to that. I might not be running around with my shoes off, but I am going to go back to that and be natural and really take it seriously and do it, full and complete. And I started with my hair. And so I'm glad I did because that led to an entire holistic lifestyle, basically, so I'm very plant-based. Like the makeup that I'm wearing now is 100% plant-based. Everything that I do is plant-based, and I'm really excited that I started with my hair and it took me to this point. I hope that answers your question. But does it answer your question?
No, it absolutely does. And your hair is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It is gorgeous.
Well, I will
go ahead.
I will tell you, this is actually not all of my hair. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So actually clips. These are actually clip-ins, but my hair is like this under there. It's just not as thick and big as this. So, and we can talk about that too if you want.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that that we'll get to. Okay. I always love hearing different aspects of the people's transition stories. And really quick before I get into that, I want to shout out everyone who I could see in the room. I'm letting you guys know that I can't see all for whatever reason. We're having a little bit of technical issues tonight, so I actually can't even see everyone in the room unless you type in the chat. And there's 2 other people that I want to let on, and right now it's being a bit buggy. So I want to say hello to Angela, who is in the room. She is Angela Beard Hardy of Simple Wellness Day Spa. She also does my hair. Shatonia, as well as Reese's Pieces, Crystal Lee. I saw Jonathan in here earlier. And if there's more people in here that I didn't say hello to, please just type something in the chat because it's not allowing me to actually see everyone in the room for whatever reason. So here's the thing. So I love hearing about people's transition stories, and people get to their transition to natural hair in a lot of different ways. Shatonia mentioned that she had issues with alopecia. And some people have issues where they get like a really bad perm, and then and then something pops off. I know when I was very young, I had like spotty alopecia. And she talked, and Shatonia talks about a little bit about what she did to handle her alopecia. She talked about injections from dermatologists as well as castor oil. And while I hear a lot about castor oil as one of like the oils, I don't always hear about what it is to your skin. Like we just think of it as like about hair, but under that we have a scalp and we have skin. So what has been some of your experiences, I would say, like with scalp treatment versus hair treatment?
Yeah, I also had some bad perm, so where I had some really thin thinning on one side and a little bit in the top here. So yeah, so for getting that back and recovery for the scalp, especially, what I did was use aloe vera, which is really an amazing herb. It has so many medicinal properties for your internal and for your skin, especially. People know of it for your skin mostly, but it also is great for internal use. But yeah, it's very healing. And with alopecia in particular, it's more of like an autoimmune disorder or disease, kind of. So your body is basically attacking those hair follicles, okay, because of stress or because of some type of chemical imbalance within your body. So it can come from a lot of different areas, including the relaxers too, because your skin is very sensitive to those harsh chemicals. So using something, I mean, obviously removing those harsh chemicals is the first thing, but then using something that's very restorative, such as the aloe vera, because for one, aloe vera can also get into your skin or go underneath your skin much better than certain other, things out there like the castor oil or olive oil, coconut oil, because it actually has some type of reaction with the skin where it can get under there, and it can help you absorb more water into your skin too. Yeah, so it's very, very healing and restorative to your scalp and skin. So I would recommend aloe vera over, and that's what I do for my clients too. I recommend aloe vera for skin issues, whether it be on your scalp or anywhere in your body. So, and people sleep on aloe vera, but it's tried and true. It's tried and true, because so why not use that and use it on your scalp too? And a lot of things, like the castor oil is very, very thick. And so sometimes your hair and your scalp need to breathe. It's better than using like Vaseline, because that's petroleum and that's really detrimental and harsh on your skin. But it's still very thick and very it coats your skin really well. I wouldn't use it unless you have like a breakout or a rash or something where you want to, kind of cover and soothe it so it won't get irritated even more. But something like aloe vera, coconut oil is also really good because it's thin and it absorbs very well on the skin. So those are some things that I've used and recommend. Right now, I only use coconut oil like from head to toe, and I use it, in my mouth and in my cooking and everything. Coconut oil is the truth.
No, I hear that. So just to hear a few things from the chat, Shatonia says, yes, it's very thick. Aloe vera is the only thing that I haven't used, she said. Recently, she said she made a spray of olive oil, aloe vera juice, black castor oil, water, a small amount of oils that she sprayed on her hair and works well. And sometimes when you go to the store, and Shatonia also says coconut oil is her life. Sometimes when you go to the store and you see stuff and all of these things that you can't pronounce, sometimes you do have to you could just go to your kitchen, right? It's like a lot of these things are natural and they're also edible. And I think it's probably a good sign that if you can digest it into your body, that it'll be a better for your hair. And Reese's PC says trial and error, and that's some of the things that we kind of have to go through. Exactly. So I want to ask you, Jennifer, and I want anybody in the chat also to tune in and chime in on when I ask her this question. What was your transition. What were some of your transition hairstyles? I'll say mine was I had micros for a period of time, and then I had braids. I was, doing the whole brandy braid thing. It was kind of like my transition hairstyle for a long time. What was your transition hairstyle, Jennifer? And everybody in the chat, tell me about your transition hairstyle experience.
I also had braids, and I tried to do my own braids for the first time when I was transitioning, and it was like an eye-opening experience. Big shout out if you do braids out there. Big shout out to you, because that takes a lot of patience. It took me probably like 4 or 6 hours just to do like one side of my hair, and then I had to put the other side, tie the other side up to go, the next day, because I wasn't finished. Like, braiding takes some time, so a big shout out to you. So yes, I also did braids. I did regular box braids, and I also did like single-ease twists a few times. One time I had single-ease twists like all the way down to my thigh, almost to my knee. So yeah, there's a lot of different things. Like, this is actually a protective style for me, wearing the hair piece in here as well. So stuff like that is what I did for protective.
Joel mentioned, he said, I love when one is able to make his or her own shampoo or oil, spray, conditioner. I just think it's awesome. I think so too. Like, I think one of the things that natural hair, we get more invested in our hair.
Exactly.
I remember going to the hair, and she would just do whatever. She would burn it. I would hear it cooking. I would have a perm stay on it as long as it needed to stay on there, because you wanted it straight. And it was about the style. But when you get natural hair, it seems like you get more vested into, like, I named my hair. My hair is named Frank.
It's about, okay. Yeah, it's about you're experiencing it. It's not like, and that's one thing too, when I had locks, it was like every single lock had its own personality. Like one side was shorter than the other, and I was like, okay, why is this side not growing like the other side? And then there was some in the front that always wanted to stick a certain way. So you get to know your hair, and only you know it. And you, like you say, you get invested in it. And so then you want to use the most natural and best products for it too. You don't want your hair, changing so much or being damaged, because you have put all this work into it. You've gotten to know it. You wash it and groom yourself. And yeah, it's an amazing experience. And I hope that more people watching this, or later on we'll see it, will decide to get on the same road with us.
Join the clubs. It's plenty of room.
Yes.
Well, I know I have a friend that one of her main protective styles that she uses is she uses wigs. Like, and it was also something she used a lot with her transition. Like, she got traditional locks, palm rolled lock, and when they were really short, she just wore a lot of wigs when she went to work, but kind of like wore her hair out. So I know that everyone who is probably listening may not be kinfolk, so to speak. So when you talk about new growth, tell us for people who may not understand or know what new growth, because one of the things about womanist culture is we have our own language. We have our own materials. We have our own processes for things. And there's things that we can use in conversation between each other, and everybody not necessarily know what that is. So tell us, what is new growth?
Well, new growth is, so after you have a relaxer, basically your hair is completely straight. So the chemicals in a relaxer straighten all of your hair, so that natural coiled curl that you have is no longer there. So after, I would say, about 3 weeks, maybe, you will start to see your hair grows about 6 inches per year, right? I think something like that. I can't remember. And so maybe about after 3 to 4 weeks or so, a few weeks, you'll have some of your new hair growing. So new growth. Okay. So from your scalp, you have maybe an inch or half an inch of hair that's actually the coiled hair. So that hasn't been processed. That hasn't been touched by the chemicals. And so you have that hair there, and then you have your permed hair on the outside. So it's basically new growth from your scalp.
Right. No, and it's funny when you talked about the coiled hair at the bottom and then your straight hair, because I remember having some traumatic days, especially transition time where it's like not quite, it's like, you know, curly, and then you got this one straight hair doing,
Oh, yeah.
you know, all types of crazy things. And I also use it, New Growth now, as my tester of when I need to go to the salon again. You know,
Oh, okay, for locks,
right,
yeah.
when I'm like, oh, okay,
retwist.
see up here, got a little New Growth coming in. We'll go back to the chat section. One person said, I stick with 2-strand twist head wraps, and sometimes it grows out. I did a big chop, so I didn't really transition. Another person said, I noticed that one side of my hair is thicker than the other. And Crystal says, my hairdresser told me the same thing a few years ago. The front side of my hair is thicker than the left side. And another person said their right side is thicker. And Reese said, I wonder if that has anything to do with which side we sleep on the most. So I will say, this is one thing that I will say. One of the things that I notice is, like, sometimes we try to assimilate to one style or one look. But one of the things I appreciate about the beauty of natural hair is that your hair is uniquely you, Jennifer. Like, that's, you know what I mean? And my hair is, and I'm not doing a whole lot to, I mean, we do as much as we can to try to tame this rebellious stuff on our head. But it being thick on, what this tells me is it being thicker on one side might happen. It being, you know, fuller or thinner on another side, what might happen. But I love the point that Reese brought up about how we sleep and how that might impact. Because I have noted, so some of the things that we do to, tell me about some of the things that you do when you go to sleep to protect your hair, whether it's rapid or what do you do pre-bed, what do you do after? Like, what is your protective sleep style if you have one?
Yeah. Well, I definitely moisturize my hair. So putting on the coconut oil in the evenings, massaging my scalp too, because that really helps to, you know, encourage growth. Massaging my scalp, and it's relaxing, so it gets you ready for bed. And then putting on that silk scarf. I have probably 30 different scarves, seriously, because I cannot go without sleeping with that scarf on, because I know that you know, rubbing your head on a cotton pillow will definitely start to give you more split ends and make your hair more dull, because a lot of the moisture that your hair already produces itself can be absorbed in the pillowcase, because if it's cotton especially. And so you want to protect your hair, keep it moisturized in the evening, and that's what I do is make sure I wrap it up.
Right, wrap it up.
Yeah.
I know sometimes another thing, like someone mentioned that they do the 2-strand twist before they go to bed. I've done that a few times. I also can say that I noticed that when I don't, like, so I don't know about y'all's hair wraps when y'all go to bed, but my hair wraps sometimes be like they on a mission.
They come off.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
It's conspiring. It's like when you wash your socks and that one sock go missing. It's like my hair wraps be conspiring against me. To come off. So, but one of the things that I noticed too is that, like, I sleep on this side most, and this side is also thinner.
Yeah.
And I noticed that happens when my headscarf comes off.
Have you tried the sock lock, or the lock sock, I think it's called, where it basically covers your hair? It covers you and it kind of tightens up around. I know I have one. I use it for my locks, but my locks weren't long. So they're for people who have long locks, but you can still wear it because it tightens up around your
What's the name of it again?
I think it's called a lock sock or sock lock.
Okay, I'll check that out. That doesn't sound that familiar to me, but I'll definitely check out the lock sock. So you also mentioned pieces, like you have things that you use to make your hair fuller. I know some people who have locks and they also still get lock extensions and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I mean, what are some of the things that, and also sometimes I'm curious, like where do you find the pieces that match because
Mm.
we have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different, curl patterns. So,
Yeah.
tell me about some of those things that we can do that add or enhance who we are, but not necessarily cover up.
Right. So for me, I'll tell you, I'll try to find the website and post it so people might want to be interested in where this came from. This was actually my sister's. So she found it because she was wearing it one day and I was like, is that your hair? Like for a second I had to do a double take because it looked just like her hair. And so, she told me about this, but it's basically these snap-ins. Yeah. And they're like little combs and they snap. And so you unsnap it and put it on and then snap it in to keep it in place. So I'll post the website where she got this from if I can find it right quick. But to answer your question, to enhance, your look or whatever, to make your hair more full, whatever. I think, for a long time, I was so against wearing weaves, wearing extensions, wearing anything but braids because I knew that's African and that's what I aspire, that's what I am. So, so I was all about the Afro or locks. And so I never wanted to, change my look. Then of course, it's a whole other story behind why I decided to start wearing this hair. But I love it because it does match my hair and match my personality, match my style. I don't want to have straight hair. So I wanted to have the curly hair. For me, I know my hair is very kinky curly. And so this curly hair, this style, I think it's called kinky something. Like the kinky hair that you buy for like buns and stuff for making the buns. And so I think that's the kind of curl pattern it has. But yeah, you can find, I think nowadays, like this hair, I don't think was around 5-10 years ago when I was transitioning and stuff. I wish it was, but I think now people want to have that full Afro curly look, which I think is beautiful. And so I think that's what's coming out now.
Did you meet with much resistance with whether it's within yourself or with others in terms of during your transition, whether it is oh my gosh, I can't, like some people like, oh, I wish I could, get locks, but one, they'll either tell me their hair won't lock, which I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Girl,
everybody's hair locks. My first set of locks, I did a whole YouTube, I did all my transition on YouTube. And I also did all of my lock journey on YouTube. And I really was like obsessed with it basically for my first lock journey. And so I documented everything. I, made my own stuff. I, also went and got it done most of the time. I didn't need to do a retwist, sorry. And then I decided to cut all those off because for one, I was having too much buildup because I was using too many products. Okay. That's why I only use coconut oil now. Using too many products, had too much buildup. So I decided to cut those off, grow my afro out. So I had a huge afro. And then all of a sudden we were moving a few times and basically my hair started to lock because I didn't start combing it out every morning. So my hair your hair automatically locks, especially if you have tight coiled hair. Even if you don't have tight coiled hair, if you leave it alone, for 3 and 4 months, your hair will be locked. Okay. And that's basically free form locks. And so my hair started to lock. So I said, okay, I guess it wants to lock. So I just let it lock up. And before that, with my old set of locks, I did, my hair was shorter in the back. My locks were shorter in the back. So I decided to shave those off, like I said earlier. And so I had a different style. But yeah, your hair will lock. Don't think your hair won't lock. It will. It depends on how you want it to lock. If you want it to be a freeform lock, or if you want it to be very manicured lock. Okay, if you want freeform, that's easy. You can just let your hair go. Don't comb it. Don't brush it. If you want it to be manicured, then you also obviously need to go and get it parted and locked properly, and palm rolled or whatever you want to do, or sister lock like yours or whatever. So.
No, thank you, computer. Yeah, and one of the things I love that Angela Beard Hardy brings up of Simple Wellness Day Spa here in Baltimore, plug. One of the things that I love that she brings up is that you can use different styles with locks too. You know, she just took out Havana twist with someone. She has a sister with those types of locks. There's all types of styles, because one of the things I hear from people is, I would go natural, I would get locks, but I like to change my hair too much. And it's like, you know what? I know sisters with locks who do a lot. Like, you can put it up, you can, you know, I've flat ironed my locks before, I've curled them, I've, you know, did all type of styles. Jennifer.
Yeah, I used to curl mine too. Yeah, and I would curl them using, just do like a Bantu knot. You just Bantu knot them and then take them out and they'll be curled. Like, very easy. You don't have to buy anything, you know, for that.
Right. And I appreciate you sharing the link for people who are watching the replay or anybody who just joined. Again, this is The Counter Narrative. I am Rasheem. Today's topic is natural hair. And we are speaking right now with Jennifer Taylor. So Jennifer shared a link, and that is Her Given Hair. That's HerGivenHair.com. So it's spelled exactly how it sounds, and that's a link to where she got some of the pieces that are in her head that is just making it pop and so full. Shatonia says she tried to find some curly clips in to match her curl pattern. Maybe if you go to that hergivenhair.com site, that might work for you. Joel also says, speaking of curl patterns, I would love to know the differences in each curl pattern and what it means. Sometimes understanding curl patterns can be difficult because most of us get natural hair to get that look or that certain curl pattern, which is a fantastic point that I appreciate Joel bringing up. So can you speak on that a little bit, Jennifer, about curl patterns? And also, Angela, can you type in the chat and tell us a little bit more about curl patterns as well?
Yeah, please, Angela, because I'm not an expert on curl patterns. I know that mine is like a 4C, I think, which is pretty tight curls. Because I'm half Nigerian, so I'm very African, and so my hair is very, very thick and tight. And I think I'm thinking like the smaller numbers are more loose curls. So basically there's numbers and letters that correspond to the tightness or the looseness of your curl pattern. So if your hair is very tightly, so when you wash your hair, it shrinks a lot, or either it's very loose and can be combed very easily. That's what I know from the curl patterns. But yeah, you were so on point. Whoever that was, Joel, that said you want that look. Well, does it match your natural hair? Because basically, either you're gonna have to cover up your entire hair to get that look, or you're gonna incorporate, like I did, incorporate it in and make it look more natural, like it's really your hair. So yeah, that's a great point. It's up to you and what you're comfortable with, and what you're comfortable with, showing, presenting how you want to present yourself to the world. So,
to the point that we were talking about earlier, Angela says all hair locks. The variance is how long it will take. Someone else said, not realizing that we all have curl patterns that differ. That's what Joel said. Shatonia says she's more of a 3C, 4A curl pattern. And Angela says she has white clients who has locks. It's all about selecting the right technique and the product to aid in the process. And Joel says it is true that locks can cause thinning after. Is it true that locks can cause thinning after so many years? I had locks for 10 years and noticed that the scalp, at the scalp it looks thin. And this was for many people that I know. So you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, well, my fiance also had locks for probably close to that long too, and so he cut his locks off because he was getting thin around the edge, so his hairline was exceeding. He says, but so I think I can relate to that, or at least from people talking about it, and from his experience too. That your hair gets so heavy that, especially if they start to get really long and thick, if you really have thick hair anyway, your hair does get heavy and it pulls. And so you can have some thinning occur. But I guess what you can do is just always keep your hair up, or always wear styles that are more protective, like you're, pulling it back or pulling it so it's not just hanging so much. And also when you wash your hair too, of course, it's going to be much heavier, right? So, drying it right away so it's not dragging down or being heavy on your scalp could help,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's about the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how many of us realize, especially if we have traditional locks, that your hair naturally sheds, and so if you have locks and it's not naturally kind of coming off as our hair does, then it adds weight and it starts to pull. So I think that might be some of what's leading to that. But one of the things I want to do is I want to make an attempt at tackling Joel's questions around the curl pattern. So I just went to a site and looked up. It's called blacknaps.org. I like that name. Blacknaps.org is where I'm getting this from. So it says it has a list of curly hair types, and it says 3A hair has well-defined loopy curls. So this one is more prone to frizz. This is probably like Becky might have hair like this. So this is a very more coily and loose curl. 3B hair, it curls well defined, less spaces between each curl. And it curves a little bit more than 3A. The texture may be a little bit more coarse. This may be the picture of the woman that I'm looking at. She looked like she may be of Hispanic descent. Like, so it's a little bit more of a curl. It's a little bit less loose than the 3A, but it's still curly, a little bit more curly. And then 3C hair is as defined corkscrew type of hair and has the smallest spaces between the bends in the hair strands. Of all the three types of hair, avoid heat when possible by using stretching techniques, braids, twists, or bunning your hair. It says cleanse and deep condition once per week, moisturize often with light botanicals. Then it talks about 4A hair. I think that's where you get into my area. When you start talking about the fours. 4A hair is defined as a curl pattern. It's almost like an S shape. Generally speaking, it retains moisture fairly well, but as with most curly hair types, it can be prone to dryness. Being that this hair type has a naturally defined curl pattern, wash and go styles may be the best option. 4B has more of a Z pattern. It has a more fluffy cotton appearance. Due to the bends and the curves in the hair strand, it is highly susceptible to dryness and breakage. This hair type shrinks up to 70%. You know what? I be seeing shrinkage, and it's like, don't be sleeping on sister shrinkage, because it can be like this, and then she pull it, and it's like, whoa.
That's how mine is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a lot of shrinkage too, 70%. With this hair type, it says naturals with this hair type will benefit from protective styles, buns, twists, braids, low manipulation styles, roller sets, ponytails, puff outs. And then 4C. 4C, it says, looks similar to 4B hair type, only it's tightly coiled. In its raw state, no products added and freshly washed. It does not have a defined curl pattern. Coils have to be defined either by twisting or braiding or shining, and it gives a whole lot more information around those coil and different curl patterns. I hope that was somewhat helpful. I'll say this, one of the things that I experienced with curl pattern differences is when I had my hair out, I got it straight into a flat iron. I got what they call it, Dominican blowout. And it changed my pattern up a little bit. Has that ever happened to you? Has it ever happened to anyone in a chat where you have your natural curl pattern and then you get it blown out or flattened a lot of times, and then your curl pattern changes?
Yep, exactly. Just similar as, it's the same type of situation where the chemicals, from the relaxer will change your curl pattern too. And then so that high heat from the flat iron or whatever, or the blow dryer can definitely change the curl pattern. Yeah, because it is. But once again, you have your new growth coming back up, which is after maybe you've maybe cut your ends a few times, that new growth will start to regenerate your natural.
I was furious. Sonia said the same thing happened to her. Angela said, no, it damaged your hair. So when you're getting it blown out and you have your curl pattern, you do that. She said it's damaged that permanently breaks the bonds. So I guess that's why it doesn't maintain that kind of curl. Quirk Play says, I've heard some Dominican salons use relaxers in their shampoo.
Oh, what?
What?
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can't be going that hard without permission.
Right.
So I am trying to also still invite people. And it's again, everyone, it's not showing me everybody who's in the room. So I don't know if you're in the room.
Yeah, I only see two up here, even though
right now it's only showing me 3 viewers, and I can see from the chat that there's way more than 3 people in here. So, and I'm also wanting to get our guest on, and I hope at some point it allows us to get Danny Redwine as well as Angela Beard Hardy of Simple Wellness on. And again, if you are just tuning in, this is The Counter Narrative. I am Rasheem. This segment is on natural hair, and we are talking right now with Jennifer Taylor. So when it comes to trend, we talked a little bit about transition styles, protective styles, natural hair styles, all of those things that we talked about with those different curl patterns and that sort of thing. One of the things that I noticed that they all have in common is they all need moisture.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use to moisture, condition, oil, wash your hair? What is your hair treatment like?
So for me, I have used probably everything under the sun when I was transitioning, when I was going to have my locks and all this different stuff. But I have basically cut it down completely to basically 4 things. One is black soap. I use black soap, African black soap, to wash my hair because it's very cleansing and it's moisturizing at the same time, and it's natural, 100% natural. Okay, and usually I buy it from somebody black, so you're supporting a black business. So anyway, so black soap and to wash. Conditioner, I really don't use a lot of conditioner because I use like coconut oil to moisturize anyway. But if I were to do like a co-wash, instead of washing my hair, just do a co-wash with conditioner, I use, I think it's Nature's Gate, which is a natural brand, Nature's Gate. You can find it like health food stores. And I used to use some things that had a lot of biotin in them because I thought that would help my hair grow and whatnot. But now I just use something that I know is very soothing and natural. And then, you know, to moisturize after that, like I said, 100% raw organic coconut oil on my skin, on my scalp and on the hair itself, because I know that's not going to clog my pores. It's not going to be weighing my hair down. It's still going to provide a shine to the hair and some provide nutrients to the hair as well. So I use that. As far as like if I have irritated scalp or something to put on my scalp, aloe vera. I used to do like flaxseed oil or flaxseed gels. I used to make my own flaxseed gels. I do make my own products, like my own infused oils. So I infuse herbs into oils. If I feel like I have like a little bit of dandruff coming up, I do a herbal hair rinse. So I make up a herbal hair rinse with like sage, rosemary, horsetail, calendula, nettle. Those are all awesome herbs for your hair. And I can put those in the chat if anybody wants to know about those. But I make a hair rinse. So basically it's taking those herbs together, boiling them or really infusing them in some water. And what you do is put the herbal infusion or tea in a big bowl. Okay. And then put your head underneath in the bathtub or the sink with another bowl down. Okay. Pour the herbal infusion onto your hair, really rubbing it into your hair, into your scalp, letting it fall into the other bowl and catch it, and then continue, just repeat that over and over again. So that's your hair rinse. And so that really helps too with like strengthening your hair and the follicles. If you have gray hair, if you got some gray hair, the sage actually helps with darkening the gray hair. So there's herbs that can be used to help to darken the gray hair. So all of you out there who want to get rid of those little pieces, try some sage, to do a sage rinse, at least, do it a few times to see if that helps with the darkening and gray hair. So those are some things that I use, all very natural, nothing really expensive and out there. So
no, that's good. I know some of the things that that I heard you mention, and also that's been mentioned on the show and in the chat tonight, are coconut oil, castor oil, aloe vera, sage, rosemary, a few other things, but those are the things that are still in my mind now. And then I asked the question, and I'll ask you as well, and if you have some more in the chat, then please do type it in. What are some of your favorite hair care products? So you talked about some of the ones you make. Are there some that are, on the market that is just like, yes, this is my stuff? Oh, thank you for that. Nettle. Oh, Jennifer, thank you for putting that. Sage, rosemary, nettle, and horsetail.
Yeah, those, you can make an herbal rinse out of the hair rinse. The products that I know were always good for me were, I use Giovanni sometimes a lot. So Giovanni, they make shampoos, conditioners. They also made like this really nice gosh, what is it called? It's kind of like not a gel, but it's, if you want to slick back your sides or your edges, it's a really nice, and they're all natural too. It's 100% natural stuff, even though they look like they're not really natural. They look like they're more salon based, but they're all natural. And so if you look for what I did, how I learned to get into making my own products was, I would take the back of like a Giovanni product and look at the ingredients there. Anything that I recognize, I would buy myself and put it together in a formula, or I would make it myself. And I would make it with a shea butter base, or a coconut oil base, or olive oil base, or I'll do all three. Okay, and just mix it together and use those herbs and use the aloe vera and the flaxseed or whatever, and make my own products. And like someone said earlier, trial and error. Is it clogging your pores? For me, was kind of too clogging for me, especially when I had locks. My locks would be too sticky, basically. And so when you have sticky locks, what happens? All the dirt and dust and stuff. Yeah, just swoop right to your locks. Yeah, so the shea butter was not for me. I had to go to coconut oil route. And that might not be good for some people, because if you have a softer curl pattern, coconut oil might be too slippery and soft for you. So you might need something else. So just, trial and error. But I like Giovanni products to answer your question too. So
it says, yes, Giovanni is really spy if you want to make your own product. She says, yes, that's exactly how you start building your product knowledge. I so agree with Jennifer. Some of the other products that were mentioned in the chat is As I Am, Shea Moisture, Giovanni's been mentioned, as well as Aveeno. And one of the things that you mentioned that I appreciate is that there are some things that I think that work better depend on your natural hairstyle. Right? Like there are certain products that I wouldn't use having locks that I would use if I had if my hair was loose. Just because I don't want the buildup and all of these things and spaces that I'm not able to get into. One of the things that I want to ask you about is we're talking about natural hair, and we're talking about natural products and all of these things and herbs. How much, and I want Angela also, please do answer this while you're in the chat. Let me try to see if I could still can't. Nope, still can't get you one. Me too. It's never done this before. I have no idea what's going on tonight. How much does what you eat and what you drink impact your hair, your skin, and your nails? Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. That's my big area. That's what I help my clients to understand, that everything that you put into your body, including your energy, including your emotions and your thoughts and all that, it reflects back out. So I have my business, and I'll just say it really quickly. I won't try to plug myself too much, but my business is called Beauty in Bloom. And so I'm an herbalist and a physiologist. And so I use natural and remedies and ways to help women to rediscover their true feminine beauty. And I talk a lot, or I teach basically about digestion and reproductive health to women. And so I have 2 master's degrees, one in biology and one in physiology. And so I basically have merged the scientific approach with the natural approach. And so I've become basically a spiritual herbalist. And so everything that you're just so right about that is that the things that you put in your body, the water intake, the food you put in, it's all going to reflect back. Your physiology, it basically responds to everything that you eat and everything, all the energy that you take into your body. And so if you want to have long, beautiful, thick, amazing hair that has no problems, you don't have itchy scalp, you have to get your diet in order and you have to take in fluids in your body. You cannot be dehydrated. Your hair is going to suffer. And the same goes with skin. And the same goes with, weight loss or whatever. It has to be all in balance there. So water intake, very important for your hair, especially if you're going to a salon to have your hair done. Because a lot of times, for me, and seems so trivial, but a lot of times going to a salon, you feel like, okay, they're going to take care of everything. If you go regularly, you feel like it's in their hands, but it's really in your hands too. You have to do the work at home. You have to get your nutrients and water intake, because they're not going to tell you a lot of times, unless you have a good, hairdresser. They're not going to tell you how your hair is doing. They're just going to fix your hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do the due diligence to make sure your hair is staying healthy, and diet is a main thing. So for me, I tell my clients, 50% of your body weight should be drunk in water. Okay. Or about 1 gallon of water. For me, I do 2 liters, 2-liter bottle of water. That's how much you should be
a day.
Mm-hmm. Which is a lot. I mean, it's not really a lot, but
bathroom.
Yeah. But a good way to do it is do like lemon water. You have some flavor, you're getting a lot of water in. I do 4 or 5 of these, and then drinking water, every meal, drinking water as soon as you wake up in the morning. If you take baths, or you go swimming, or if you do anything where your body is going to release a lot of water, exercise, make sure you're replenishing that. That will help your hair grow. And of course, like with diet, getting a lot of leafy greens, that's chlorophyll. It's going to help your skin glow. It's going to help your hair grow. Really important. I mean, I can go on for days talking about that.
So one of the things that I'm hearing seeing also in the chat is water, and more water. Water is the best moisturizer. I miss hair 2 or 3 times a day. Angela says, as a hair loss specialist, you would be surprised how many people I see whose issues are related to nutrition.
I'm sure.
All right. Question: how do you guys feel about hair growing pills such as Hair Affinity? I don't know what Hair Affinity is, but just a hair growing pill, that just doesn't sound right to me.
No.
Yeah.
Nutrition is the hair pill.
Yeah.
Nutrition, I mean, leafy greens and lots of vegetables is the hair pill, because that is the nutrient that you need to grow your hair. I mean, chlorophyll, protein. I mean, that stuff is what your hair is growing from, and every single cell in your body has to have that. And so why would your hair be any different? You got to have those nutrients for your body to function properly, and your hair is no different from anything else.
Mm-hmm. More discussions on drinking. Shatonia says, I love lemon or cucumber water. And Nicole says, I love me some infused lemon water. I say lemon water is the best.
What is?
Lemon water.
Oh, yeah.
I love lemon water. Quirk Play says she must try lemon water. Yes, do it. Do it. I also noticed too, because okay, so this what I'm about to say is not good nutritionally, and it is not good for your hair. All right. I drink coffee. As a coffee drinker, one of the things that I've learned is when I have days where I substitute lemon water for my first drink in the morning, it energizes me. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all probably thinking it's a placebo, but I'm telling you, my body knows the difference. And it definitely, it absolutely energizes me. And I also, anytime I go out, I tend to always get lemon water if I'm going out to eat, especially.
Right. And yeah, the coffee, I just wrote a blog post about coffee and how I stay energized. The blog post name is How to Stay Energized Without Drinking Coffee. I don't ever drink coffee because I don't like it really, but coffee, yeah, it does bring you down.
Dehydrating, yeah.
It actually, it picks you up because it's a very strong stimulant. It is actually an herb, so it's a plant, it's a natural thing, but it hits your adrenal glands very hard, gives you a boost of energy, and then crashes you just like sugar does. And so you can't sustain a full day off of coffee, and it is detrimental, to your gets you dehydrated.
It is like the anti-water.
Yeah, basically. Sugar is too. Sugar is dehydrating too. So got to cut the sugar if you want to have, all what you need.
Absolutely. Tell me, is there, before I let you go, and I want to give you as well as Angela an opportunity to let people know how they could get Swift with you. And what I say for Swift is, how can they connect with you on Snapchat, your website, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter?
Oh, cool. I like that.
It'll probably be something different tomorrow. Who knows? I might have to say Swifty. I might have to add YouTube in there some type of way.
Yeah.
So before we get to that part, what I want to know from you, what is it that you wish everyone who either has natural hair and is taking care of it, what is something that you want to make sure that they leave with tonight? Or if they are thinking about it, what is something that you feel like they should know?
If you are thinking about going natural, take away any and everything that you have heard, even the stuff that we even said today. I mean, any and everything, go with your gut, go within yourself. If you even have the slightest notion that you want to do it for yourself. Don't do it for anything else. Don't do it for, people you see that it's a trendy thing. Don't do it for, all people making money on YouTube and you want to make money too. Don't do it for those reasons. Do it because you want to look beautiful within yourself, and you want to be confident with your natural hair that grows right out of your head, and you can do it. And so that if you have that mentality and that mindset, you will be happy with your natural hair forever. You won't ever want to go back, because a lot of people go natural and they're just like, why did I do that? They don't know why they did it. And then they end up going back to relax a lot of times. And I say, if you have that notion, just believe in it for yourself and do it for yourself, and do it because you want it. And then you'll be more, like we said before, invested in it and more connected to it and to your hair, and love it even more. For people who are natural right now, just keep doing what you're doing. You are great. You're beautiful. You are inspiring other women and other people. Yes, you are amazing. Rock your natural hair. Be beautiful. Encourage other women, especially, this is for both women, encourage other people to go natural as well. Be as natural as you possibly can be. Get the nutrients that's going to help your hair grow by eating a healthy diet. I say plant-based diet because I'm plant-based, but do as best you can with your natural hair. Get the water, nutrients. Don't let people touch all in your hair and stuff. Be strong within your natural beauty. That's all.
Oh, that's good. I want to share one of the commonly, and I kind of touched on it earlier, common misconceptions about natural hair. And Jennifer, I love to hear what some of the common misconceptions you've dealt with. One of the ones is that you're limited if you have natural hair. You are so like that you are restricted.
Yeah.
I have had several styles. I also get my hair. It's been quite a few different colors.
Yeah.
This gets curled up. It's also, with this particular hair, it's also easy. It doesn't take me a whole lot to decide on it. Like this, I could find a way to manipulate this, and this would be a style.
Right.
So you're not limited in your options. I think sometimes we think we're limited in options because we're just so used to seeing hair done
Yeah.
one way.
Right.
So like, how can I get that? And maybe you won't be able to get, that particular style, but there are some things that you could do with your hair naturally that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
And I think people think that they have to start with a very short fro, which you don't. I mean, you can let your hair grow and grow and grow and grow until you're ready to cut off the relaxer into where you have a nice big fro, the one that you saw in a magazine somewhere. So that can be the way that you transition out. It doesn't have to be this scary thing for you. I mean, I don't know where that comes from, but it is an underlying fear that people have that they're going to look like such and such, and that doesn't have to be the case either. I mean, and a lot of people think that they're going to look a certain way. They end up looking fantastic, with that hair, and they just don't see it because they have been brainwashed basically by our society to thinking that long hair is more beautiful. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are, awakening, and I think we can continue that momentum. And so, yeah, any and every style I think is, at least reachable to the point where you can be comfortable with it. So yeah, there's plenty of things out there for people who want to go that route. So
right. And so there are options. And also I think another thing that I hear is it won't look like it look cute on you, but it won't like naturally.
Right.
It won't look
all the time.
Like the hair, you like literally like sometimes I'm like, do you hear yourself? So what you're saying is the hair that naturally grows out of your
scalp
won't look right on you. That's what you're saying right now. Titonia says her biggest issue with natural hair is that it is so time consuming. I gotta tell you, Titonia, it is sometimes drying. I gotta tell you, I don't do a lot with this.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a misconception.
That's a misconception. Yeah, and I think people, like, for me, I spent a lot of time on my hair when I first became natural because I was just so new to me. But then now I don't do anything. Once you get comfortable in it, it's like that's your hair and it's going to do what it wants to do. You can make it look beautiful. You can spend a lot of time on it if you want to, but if you don't, it's still going to look beautiful because it's so connected and so ingrained in you now that it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I guess it's something you just have to experience and take our word for it. But it's amazing how, your hair will just flow.
Yeah.
If you let it flow.
Angela says, know that your hair and nails are your body's biggest cheerleader. It is first changes, good and bad. That sounds like your hair snitch.
I love that. I'm gonna steal that, Angela.
Good and bad on within your body because it is always going through a growing cycle. Its sensitivity is a major communicator.
Right.
And I guess this other response is when I took down my hair. She says, "Ooh, girl, look at it. That hair is getting so long." So Angela is actually the first person that when I first started Sister Locks after I did when I first started, I just had about maybe this much hair. I don't know. Maybe about that much. And what I did is I put it in some tiny, tiny braids, actually. So at the end of these are like itty bitty braids.
Oh, okay.
And when I first needed it, Sister Lock or Interlocked, what have you, Angela is who I went to, Simple Wellness Day Spa in Baltimore, Maryland. And he has been retightening it pretty much ever since. So tell me, Jennifer, a misconception, and then let everybody know how they can connect with you. How can they get in contact? And while she's doing that, Angela, you go ahead and write how people could connect with you, and I will read that.
Okay. You want to do a misconception first?
Yeah, misconception first. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I think we kind of already, said the thing I was going to say. Yeah, but basically, just that you won't look the way that you think you'll look or you want to look, but you will because it will just naturally flow with your whole persona, because a lot of people, I mean, you can do a lot of style. Like I said before, I had my back of my hair shaved. I would have never thought that I would shave my head, like never in a million years. I was some little Southern Black girl from South Carolina. You don't shave your hair. So, you can do and experiment with your hair so much that, there's nothing that's holding you back. Like who is telling you, I mean, the society is there, but you have the power to do whatever you want. If you step into that power, you can just, you know, love it and whatever. But the misconceptions are there, you know, with not looking a certain way or whatnot. So just let all that go. Like I said earlier, do you, be you, you're beautiful no matter what. How to find me. So I am at yourbeautyinbloom.com. That's my website, yourbeautyinbloom.com. I'm on Twitter as MindBodyBloom. And I'm on Facebook, I'm at Jennifer Hutchinson. So that's my my name on Facebook, Jennifer Hutchinson. I can type that in too. And you can find me. I have a page there, Your Beauty in Bloom. And that's my website. And I also have Instagram and Your Beauty in Bloom and all of that. So check me out. I'm on there. So if you want to know more about, you know, medicinal herbs, if you want to know about nutrition, if you want to know about mindset, affirmations, visualization, stuff like that, to really take you to the next level in holistic health, then that's me.
So you're in Your Body in Bloom everywhere, except for Facebook.
Everywhere except for Twitter. Yeah, and I'll type my Facebook name.
Fantastic. And so Angela Beard Hardy of Simple Wellness Day Spa wasn't able to get on tonight because we have technical difficulties with our software, but I'll try to see if I can get you guys both on because this was really good. So Simple Wellness Day Spa, the number is 410-483-WELL or 410-483-9355. On Facebook, she is Simple Wellness Day Spa. The website is dayspasw.com. And she also has within that a hair or more hair loss clinic that is also within the Day Spa. And Jennifer Hutchinson is Jennifer Hutchinson on Facebook. On Instagram, she is Your Beauty in Bloom, and the website is yourbeautyinbloom.com. And feel free to call Angela directly at 443-622-5026 if you have any other hair questions or anything related to that. This is the Counter Narrative. I am Rasheem. I can be reached on Twitter, s.rasheem, Instagram, s.rasheem. And if you're nosy like me and you like to see what's going on in people's life, so you look at people's Snapchat, then I am s.rasheem. And you can get all up in my business and see what I'm doing on each day. My YouTube channel is also s.rasheem. So most places, if you put in s.rasheem or s.rasheem, you'll find me. If you are watching this and you also want to know how to get more shows and see more, I'm on Fire Talk, firetalk.com/Rasheem, or you can actually just go to s.rasheem.com, see all the shows, all the replays, or go to YouTube. Thank you so much for being here, Jennifer. I appreciate it. So we have to do this all of the other stuff that you were into sounds so good in terms of like hit me up. You know what I mean? Like inbox me. All right.
Of course.
And thank you so much also for being here, even though we couldn't get you in. If you are still here in the chat room right now, just say hi real quick so I can shout you out. I like doing roll call and shout out. Reese, thank you for being here. I so do appreciate you very much. Angela, thank you again for being here. Jennifer, I appreciate you. Let me go up. Joelle, thank you for providing so much good information in terms of your questions that you asked, sharing your experiences. Workplace, I appreciate you for being here. Who else? Shatonia, Workplace. And there's probably Crystal Lee. There's probably some other people who don't want to necessarily say anything, but I appreciate you. And this has been another episode of the Counter Narrative. Good night, everybody.
Peace.